Okay, guys. Uh, if you're squeamish, don't watch this video. This isn't any magic trick. This is just showing what happened to my arm. Okay. Unfortunately, nobody filmed the actual crash itself. Here's what happened. Okay, I was at Camelback, and at Camelback on a far terrain park, there are these competition jumps. And now I'm an experienced snowboarder. Like I don't suck. I do like tricks like backflips and rails and stuff, and the three jumps over there were being used in a competition. I waited patiently, and when they finished, guy said go ahead. I was the first one in the park all day that wasn't in the competition. First two jumps I hit, they were launch pads, so they just shot me off, and I cleared them. I did some grabs, they were nice, got a lot of air. Last one I didn't see coming. Last one I came up real close, and right before I didn't have a chance to stop, it was actually a lip, which are most jumps. I mean, I don't hate lips. It's just I was going flying because I wanted to clear the landing. The first one I didn't, and the second one I did, and the third one I just wanted to get a lot of air, so I just went whew. I mean, I was barely turning. I came up at the jump going literally straight, barely any turns. It was like, and I launched like, I can't imagine how many feet in the air, really high. I came down. I think I landed on my board first, came down, and just fell under me like this. I just felt it snap, and when I lifted it up, it was all hanging down like all the way down. I felt the bone. The bone was sticking out of my arm right there, and I felt it. And you can believe me or not, but honestly, I was just like, "Oh shit!" Basically, that's what I said. And unfortunately, I had to get up, hold it, and keep snowboarding just to get down to get help. I guess, because I mean, like, I've had weird things happen to me. I've split my head open. I guess I'm just used to these kinds of pain, so I didn't freak out. And I knew if I freaked out, it would have hurt even worse. And I'm not just going to tell you the story. I'm going to show you some of my pictures on my phone I took. Now, what happened is, I didn't know when I made the first video that was called Out for a While. I didn't really know the whole situation. It was a lot more serious than I thought. Hold on, let me find the picture. Okay, look. When this first happened, here's what the bones look like. I know this is blurry. Oh, shit. They were separated like that. The two bones in my forearm. Now, I'm sure it's really blurry, unfortunately, but that's what they looked like. These two bones in my forearm snapped in half and were completely separated. And the gross thing is that now my arm was so swollen, literally, like it was like Popeye. Like I was like, dang. I didn't know. I got into the room. They took off all my stuff. The lady saw the bone sticking out. They got me to the hospital, and then I started freaking out because the swelling was so intense that it was squeezing all my nerves, which was causing the tips of my fingers to like start feeling as if somebody's like cutting them off, and I was freaking out. I was like, oh my god, what's going on? And then they had to do what's called a fasciotomy, where this is why I have a big cut right here. It's where they slice you open so the pressure is relieved, so all the pressure can go out instead of being all condensed inside my arm. It's similar to a procedure where if you have a brain tumor, they cut they cut some of your skull off so your brain has room to like breathe. So here's what my arm looked like. That's actually when it looked good. Everyone thinks right there that white is actually everyone thinks that's bone. That's actually tendon. The bone is all covered in titanium. Here's how swollen my arm was. I was taking pictures of it. And when it first happened, the cut was really swollen. That's when it was at first. It was so swollen it was actually sticking out of my arm, literally. Instead of just being in this area, it was actually all the way out, like to here. It was really, really swollen. So, yeah, I'm sorry if I'm grossing you guys out. That's what it looked like. And then, here's what else. I'm sorry, I would normally just like show you the pictures on my computer, but I'm too lazy. And so I had what's called a wound vac on that big cut to reduce the swelling. I mean, if they didn't cut me open like that, the doctor said I would have never had feeling in my hand ever again. All my nerves would have been stretched to death. They would have just been like this for the rest of my life, or get it cut off, which I wouldn't do because I don't think they have any bionic arms, which would be kind of cool. But I'm glad that I have my arm back. So finally, after about 2 weeks, of keeping my arm like this to keep the swelling from going up, to keep the swelling down. I slept like this and everything. They're finally ready to close it up. Now the doc said they would not be able to close it up just regular. They had to take a skin graft because it's way too swollen still. Originally they were going to take it from, you know what, that's where they normally take a skin graft from, is from your ass, your thigh. But instead, since they only needed a little piece and they took it from right here, they closed it up as best they could and put it right there. And that's actually, I know to everyone else, like everyone's in school like, but actually in like a year from now it's going to be barely noticeable. It's going to be regular and badass scar, and the skin's not going to be too noticeable. Here's what my arm looks like now with all the metal coating it. That's an x-ray of my 2 forearms. So luckily the doctor did a really good job fixing me up, because I could have ended up like frickin' Frankenstein, God knows what. So that's the story. There's not much more to tell you. I wish somebody had filmed it. I definitely would have been on Scar. I mean, I've looked at Scarred stories, and this tops a lot of them. But some people have lost limbs on that show, but I'm glad that didn't happen. So, that's it, guys. And peace.